I got attacked by a psycho killer. I thought that arrow earlier had totally taken me out, so the killer grabbed his bow and climbed up the ladder, ready to deal with my body. Little did he know I was actually fine. So I traded an arrow to the thigh for a decent weapon. After patching up my wound, someone started banging on the door frantically. Turns out it was my neighbor. His wife hadn't come home yet, so he came over looking for her, but being deaf and mute, I couldn't hear him calling out. Lucky for me, my neighbor's pretty sharp. Before leaving, he noticed some help messages written on the glass. He suspected I was in danger. With that thought in mind, he was about to pull out his phone to call the cops. Right then, the killer burst out with a flashlight, and in a cop's voice, ordered him to put his hands up, hand over his ID for inspection. Just like that, my neighbor fell for it. He immediately handed over his wallet.
You live next door? Yes, sir.
And waited obediently for the fake officer's questions. Once my neighbor totally let his guard down, the killer immediately explained that the station just got a murder report, saying something happened here. Since they were short-staffed, they sent him over. Because it was his first call, he forgot his phone and wanted to borrow my neighbor's to call for backup. After getting the phone, the killer pretended to make a call. He thought he could fool my neighbor, but the next second, his lie got exposed as he handed back my neighbor's phone. A dropped earring instantly made my neighbor suspicious. He immediately realized I'm deaf and mute. How could I have called the police? His gut told him this cop was fake, but my neighbor didn't dare make any sudden moves since he wasn't sure if the killer had a gun. He told the killer, I usually keep my keys in the flower bed. He could go check there. After successfully distracting him, my neighbor secretly grabbed a pebble and slowly approached, ready to ambush. But the next second, my neighbor was dead. Now I was completely hopeless. I'd imagined countless ways to escape, but every single one ended in failure. The killer was also ready to make his move. He found a wrench in his trunk, planning to rest a bit, then force his way in to kill me. That's when my cat suddenly appeared. The killer pulled out a knife, ready to kill my cat first. But just as he was about to strike, an arrow hit his shoulder. I could have run back inside, but the arrow fell to the ground halfway. I instinctively reached to pick it up, giving the killer a chance. He trapped my hand with the sliding door, then kicked me several times. I guess that was payback for the arrow, until I desperately banged on the glass, and my hand was completely mangled. Then the killer was satisfied and let me go back. Seems like the killer really enjoys torturing people. At this point, I pulled myself together. Through the glass I wrote 3 words to the killer, calling him a coward, then quickly went to my computer and wrote down the killer's description. While the killer was frantically pounding the glass, I also left my final letter, then grabbed a knife and hid in the bathroom, ready for one last showdown with this creep. But the killer didn't break through the front door. Instead, he went through the ventilation to get behind me. Since I'm deaf and mute, I had no idea what was happening behind me. Luckily, I caught a whiff of his breath. Using this brief moment, I quickly ran to the living room, looking for other weapons to defend myself. But after just a few steps, I collapsed from blood loss. Soon after, the killer dragged his injured leg over. He spotted me on the floor right away. Just then I woke up too, and at the crucial moment, I used a bottle of bug spray and got it right in the killer's eyes. After getting up, I quickly turned on the alarm. The piercing sound immediately got the killer all rattled. Just as my hand was about to reach a knife, the killer decisively knocked me down and kicked me. Now he had only one thought: to strangle me to death. Just before I lost consciousness, my left hand found a bottle opener, and I stabbed it right into the killer's main artery. Lisa successfully killed the attacker and managed to get the phone to call the police.